Preparing a live stream. Okay. We are now live on on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
I somehow hear myself twice. Okay. I just put the video like on YouTube, just turn off the audio. So it's the first time streaming on YouTube. So let me see how it's gonna works.
And you can also close the window so it doesn't.
Oh, I can close the YouTube window?
Yeah.
Really? And it still is going on?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then I'm just closing it. So you're the expert. So it's
But you
my
see
first
on
time.
your Zoom screen also that the YouTube is happening.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. So perfect. So we can jump. Welcome to this magical life. Yes, I was planning to do a short live about sharing the experience of my journey to Egypt, and then I thought, why do it by myself instead? Why don't I invite the woman that made all possible? And that is the wonderful Yolanta. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Yolanta, for this possibility. So today we're gonna deep dive, share with you what was our experience, why we actually ended up in Egypt, how all this started, and all this synchronicity and all this magic. And actually, the trip now started with Yolanda and me being in a Zoom call where a lady in the call at the end, like the last 5 minutes, just shared, "Oh, Yolanda, do you want to share with the people here in the meeting what are you planning?" And everybody who needs to know knows it. And I was like, no, I want to know. Please share it. And she said, yeah, I'm planning to go to Egypt on the 17th of February. And I was like, my whole body was like, oh my God. That is where I felt the whole time I need to be. And Yolanta not only organized this trip, but she brought the best people together that can attend this trip. And we had the most incredible guide in whole Egypt. So like the most magical person. So you're going to learn about that. And the reason why we decided to do this live now together is to share with you our experience, and also maybe in some kind to help you with all the magic that happens the whole time in your life, to start opening your eyes for this magic, to start opening and seeing all this small synchronicity, all these small coincidences, like really coincidences, and to start trusting our inner voice, because each of us has this inner voice, but we are sometimes scared to follow it because our mind says it's not the right time, you don't have maybe the possibility now or the finances, or can you trust this on a short-term trip, or would it be the right one, and everything, like the ego tried to tell us all possible how to say it? Yeah, why it's not possible? But maybe Yolanda, if you'd like, you can start with to share how you came to this this inspiration to create this beautiful trip, and then we can deep dive in what we have experienced there and take you on a magical journey.
To add hi, hello, thank you for this invitation. And to add more of this magic spark, I will share with you that yesterday, when we did with Anya our story in Russian for our Russian friends, I started to think, why don't we do this one in English with you? And when you invited me for this, I was like, yes, yes, yes. This is what we are talking about. Yes. It's that kind of magic. When you think about something and you hear, see, feel something from other person, from other side, or you open the book and read confirmation, or like we are talking about that. But long story short, yes, because this story about Egypt is more than 20 years long in this lifetime. And who knows how many thousands of years long in my soul evolution, right? But about talking about magic, synchronicities, and trusting ourselves, I would like to invite all of you to think about your childhood. That small girl or boy did like something, and the eyes lit up about something, and it was Egypt for me. And I know from your sharings that we share similar stories about reading fairy tales or books for children, and then switching to Egypt, switching to Greece, and being involved in all of those stories about pyramids, gods, goddesses,
Mm.
priests, all the magic, all the alchemy, right? And so it was my childhood also, like, and it took me more than 20 years to return back to Egypt and to this like intergalactic those adventures. Yes, and as a timeline healing teacher and healer, I I stay connected very closely right now with all the invisible, with all the magical, and this is what I say. Those are many layers, levels, and dimensions of ourselves, and how we connect more and more deeply with our souls and the true essence of who we really are, right? And uh, it was 4 years ago when I went to Egypt for the first time with my family. And it was like a nice trip, but this idea stayed deeply with me, like this confusion. What have you done with my Egypt? And I didn't know where this thought was coming from. But all week I just spent like looking around and what have you done with my Egypt? And like what am I thinking? Why do I use this my Egypt, right? and then we went to scuba diving, and I had the worst panic attack underwater, and so many traumatic layers of my being opened. And since I knew timeline healing technique, I started the long and deep healing journey for myself. And when I felt, I actually remember one session that I felt that it's done, it's healed, it's I'm finished with all of those traumatic experiences. Again, Egypt invited me suddenly, like coincidentally, accidentally.
Cool.
Yes, I saw information about retreat in Egypt, and this was my body response, like you shared in the beginning. Like, oh, I knew my every cell in my body knew that this journey is for me, and also it happened. I went to Egypt and I started to feel this connection, how this land starts to accept me like a long lost daughter, yes. And now I'm returning to my as it is my homeland, yes, because like deeply in my soul, in my heart, I feel that Egypt is my home, that this is the place on earth where my soul started this journey. And I believe it is true
Mm.
for many right now. Because we know also from history that Egypt is one of the like starting points for civilization. And as we do this inner journey, healing work, remembrance is happening. And as we start to remember our true self, our true soul essence energy, we start to feel more connection with those places and all of our dimensions, right? And this is, yes, I truly believe that each person feels this calling to homeland at one point in life, when they're ready to open, when they're ready to accept all of those parts of us, because all of those parts means also tragic experiences, painful experiences, right? It's not about only just rainbows and unicorns. It's about like everything that life has given us, and yes, all of those. So like 4 years, I'm talking right now about. I am closely connected with timeline healing technique, and as a teacher, I also like have been taught this technique. And this retreat 2 years ago, I had this idea in my mind. I would love to start doing timeline healing classes in English. But how can I do it? I'm living in Latvia. All of my friends are Latvians. All of my followers were Latvians at that time, right? Latvia is a small country, and how can I spread the message about me? I'm available. I can teach timeline healing in English, right? And we were in the Mount Sinai, yes, like it was Moses Trail. We were climbing the mountain during the night in order to meet the sun in the morning on the top of the mountain. And this was my like truly like hard desire and wish. And as sun started to appear, I started to pray and ask, please, dear son, show me how can I spread the message? How can I connect with those English-speaking people? How can I attract new students to my classes? How can I fulfill this my dream and desire to teach in English? And when I returned from that journey, there was this organizers group for timeline healing teachers, and there was a question: who can do timeline healing in English? And I said, okay, I can. And Georgi from Bulgaria. Others were Russians; they knew only Russian language or Ukrainian. And it was like a week after the trip, and Jen wrote me an email. Jen is a sales assistant, as you know, right? And she was like, okay, we have this idea, because time to time people just want to participate in English only class. Sal is always busy with all of those translations and spending time in other countries. And it was like one of the biggest miracles in my life, because it took us 2 months from that morning in the mountains until our first English class for me as a teacher. It was
2 months only.
2 months. Yes. And because when I received that email from Jen, I was like, Jen, I am so ready. I was praying that last week, and I can send you a picture from the mountain and the sun in the morning. And she was just amazed, because she shared with me, I was living in Egypt for 9 years. I loved that land. And I believe that I heard you calling me or whoever, like from Mount Sinai to
Yeah.
America. And like this was also like, for me it's a miracle and it's a blessing, because Egypt was the energy that connected me and
So
Jen.
actually, she asked for someone to lead a timeline healing in English, but the place wasn't defined, right?
Yeah.
So okay, it was like first Okay, I do it in English.
So we have how many we were, like 12 or 13. We have 13 teachers who would love to do, who can do timeline healing in English. Yes, this was
Okay,
that, like
that
it
was the
was just an
question.
open question. Who can do it? Yes. And I was like,
And maybe
and also
for you
our
who
shared love for Egypt also played a big role there.
yeah, maybe for you watching also the live, just to understand a timeline healing technique is a kind of technique where when you have some blockages, you have some traumas, you have something that blocks you, or you wish to kind of let me say it manifest, because I think this word is now
It's,
pretty used, like manifest a new way of living, to project your new evolved self. It could be used. So that means Yolanta or myself, when we give a session, we can just guide you, and either we go and do a healing and reprogram on your subconscious mind. So that's why the blockages, limiting beliefs, traumas that are there can be released, and you can go with more ease and lightness and create more of the place of who you truly are, your essence. Yeah. And Yolanta has given as a teacher, not only making this giving this session, but also teaching others to learn these techniques. And Jen is the CEO from Sal, who lives in America, and somehow asks. So you say, "I'm answering the calling. I'm ready." And then what happens with Egypt then?
yeah. And we started I felt this support from Jen, and I could easily say right now that she became my mentor because she participated every class I did in English. And as we finished that first, yes, like soon we started to organize the next class, and it was like a lot of time we spent together, like in classes, in healing. Sometimes we met just to talk,
Exchange.
exchange experiences, right? And there was like half of the idea from her side, from my side, like how these exchanges are happening. And suddenly she started to put this idea in my mind that maybe I am ready for doing timeline healing level 2 classes also. It felt somehow, this is surprisingly happening. It wasn't planned. It wasn't like something I just wanted to achieve or I was craving. It just happened naturally. This is what right now, when I'm looking back, this is like one pure example how something can evolve naturally, like
Because
piece by piece, step by
manifestation
step. Yes, yes.
manifestation happens when it feels like the most natural thing on earth.
Yeah. And then I also, that time I started to repeat level 2 trainings with Cell. Like it was one of the requests for me to repeat the training again. Then I had meetings with Cell, with Jen. We were talking about those things. And then was like, again, this like inspiration from Jen, this like magic something from Jen. Like, okay, how are you going to do this? Like when will be the first class? How are you imagining this? And I opened all of my sensors, like if you can wish for something, yes, like. And I said to her, imagine how wonderful it would be to do my first level 2 class in Egypt. And we were both shaking and crying. That was magical night actually, because we started to manifest this trip. And the other part, again, it happened very fast. Like this is how it works, right? When you are ready for something, when your soul is ready, then all of this invisible field starts to support you.
Synchronize.
Yeah, synchronize for you. In order for you to be there on your path and do the next step. And we started to like put details together. She helped me a lot with organizing on a physical level those things, because she has been living in Luxor for 9 years and she knows people there, and she started to put it together with the local guide there. And I started to spread the message here because I needed people, right? And specifically, I needed level 1 practitioners who would love to come with me to Egypt to
Not
do
only to do timeline here.
voyaging. Yes, yes, this was a very specific request. And now I'm looking back, it was actually 1 year ago. Yes. I was like, how did I even manage that? Again, magic, synchronicities, everything, right? And also, like one wonderful thing, one of my friends here who already did level 2 training, she wanted so much to be there in Egypt that she decided to come and repeat level 2 and support me in that, because also Egypt was calling her. Another wonderful thing, Manuela, organizer in Germany, also decided to come, and it pushed me to even next level, to not only start to do level 2 trainings, but do the first time in English.
Because Manuela
What a
was the only
blessing.
one not speaking Latvian.
Latvian, yeah.
Yeah.
All the other guys were from Latvia. She was from Germany, not yes, speaking German, English, Romanian, but no Latvian. And also, what a blessing it was for me. Of course, I was stressed. Of course, I was nervous. But if you can do like one thing in English, you can then repeat and repeat, right? Otherwise, it would take me again some time for me to prepare, to feel ready, to overthink, overthink, overthink.
That is what our mind is doing, right? Because we see all this
Yeah,
synchronicity, and then the
yeah,
mind starts like,
yeah,
can you, are you ready? Is it possible?
yeah,
And when
yeah,
you've been
yeah.
gently pushed, just
Yeah.
gently pushed,
And then we went there, and we went to Egypt, and this was like very very busy week, because we started with Cairo. We wanted to visit Sphinx, pyramids there. Then we flew to Luxor, and we had a program there, all those temples, all those places we need to visit, and find time for doing timeline healing class.
because actually that was the primary reason to go, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Because also energetically, I needed that support of my soul's homeland and all of those energies, gods, civilizations. Yes, all this invisible support, because it was clearly like guidance from this beyond, right? And we slept because we did a lot, a lot, a lot. And there was this story about how we met with Mo, with the guide you met in this journey, because our guide was another guy, but as we started to do our tour there, like he experienced a lot of difficulties, a lot of problems, and it was health of his mom and some issues with business and all the other things. And then he realized that he is not capable of like managing everything that is happening in his life, and also spending time with us and doing the tour for us. And he organized like his fellow guide
That
there.
you didn't like at the beginning, right?
And then it was like the whole week was a lot of stress for me, a lot, because of everything that was happening and everything that was not as we planned. Yes, I was like and there is this morning we are eating breakfast. I see bus coming. I'm going to say hello, good morning, and I see Mo.
Unknown
First
person.
question, my first question, he was like, hello, being polite and friendly and so. And my first question, where is Alf? Imagine like he shared this evening we spent together. Like his first impression of me was, oh my God, who is she? What is this group? What is happening here? Oh my God, no.
Why, he said, why did I take this job? He
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, it was
really?
like instant regret from his side. And so we finished breakfast and then we went together, and the first stop for us was Valley of the Kings. Oh, wow. Like my story, like me connecting with Mo, I think that this is the most wonderful example of how quick can a transformation be. Like from this experience, like no, to amazing. Like we went to Valley of the Kings. He started to talk about history, about Egypt, about his passion to those stories and the land and the beauty that you can connect with every time you visit those places. And it was like I was looking at him. Light is coming not only from his eyes but from his whole being, and I am standing there like, who is this person? What is happening here? I've never experienced anything like this in my life. And then I see like my friends from the group. Everyone is looking like, what is happening here? Like and yes, and then I realized, okay, he really loves that thing he's doing here. Okay, everything will be all right. And then we went to bus back. And we started. We were the plan. I think the second place was Hatshepsut Temple, and mm, on the way to our bus, I saw you also noticed there was this small market with
Hmm.
different kind of things, and I decided to buy one dress. It was like a quick decision. Oh, I need to buy the dress, and I went in.
Oh, where I bought my dress also. I
Oh,
bought it at the same place.
yeah, and yes, I had a like nice conversation with the seller, and I made a good deal. Yes, and I was happy, and I put the dress on over everything that I was wearing that day, and I was like, okay, I'm going to find the bus. I need to go back to my group, and the Mo was looking for me already. Like because everyone was there in bus, and they realized like Yolanda's not there, right?
The main
And I
person is
remember
missing.
he was coming towards me. I am going. And he was like, and again, his eyes like this. Oh, this black looks so good on you. And that was the moment like we started, like there was this like sudden change. And we started to talk like friends who finally met each other after a long time of not seeing each other. Yeah. So like it was, I believe it was 1 or 2 hours from this disaster in the morning and to this like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And from that moment, everything went well, and everything every day, those temples, experiences we had together that created some type of magic. And every night when he went home and we stayed just we this
The
group,
group.
and we did
Hmm.
meditation training, healing, like everyone shared that we felt that something is missing, and time to time um, uh, someone was counting, are all of us here, who is missing? and during this journey, there was one moment like I realized, no, I need to keep this connection. It will be not fair to just go home and to say goodbye and that's it, right? And I asked him, like, what do you think about doing tour and organizing some experience for a group, just me and you? And he said yes. He even didn't want to think about it. He didn't need the time to think about it. He just said yes. And I knew that I will be coming back. I knew that this was serious for me, and like this autumn, it was October, November, when I started to think, no, I need to do it in winter, because like living in Latvia, we have long winters, we have a long time of dark, cold, gray weather, and it is a nice thing to go to some sunny places, and Egypt is one of the most available places also for us. Mm, and yeah, and we started to plan this tour and to manifest this, and it ended like I still feel like some magic happened.
Yeah, you shared that
Yeah.
I confirmed to you like 7, 8 days before.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Anya was also so like three of us was like actually not able to join. So and actually everything felt in together as these pieces of the puzzle that it was possible.
Yeah.
And for me is like you were sharing in your talk with Anya is also I started the whole like Egypt topic when I was a child. I was like
Yeah.
loving to read all this mythology about Egypt, about Greece, and all this god and goddess and how they interact, and also Arabic, a lot of Arabic like fairy
Shahrazada,
tales.
yeah.
Scheherazade, yes, all of them. You know, also this all this long one that are like
Yeah.
one fairy tale is just one whole book. So with really huge
Yeah.
journeys and so on, I was always like inspired. I was deep diving into these histories like you can forget me by reading. So we share a similar experience in this. And then when life happens, to say this way, we start growing up, some this just went aside. And when I actually started to feel again like more connected, or it was coincidentally with Egypt, was during the this whole craziness in 2020, and I needed to take some time just for me. And I was doing my business back there, and I was just okay, I need like 2 3 days where I can realign, I can set up some vision, some direction, some clarity. And I wanted to book an apartment via Airbnb. And normally back there, because of this craziness, it wasn't available to book it for a private purpose, but for business purpose was allowed. And as I was doing to do and like create my structure, my vision for the business, I could book it. And I went. It was like in a small village here, 1.5 hours from Frankfurt, and it was amazing, heart driven family, like an older couple, that after that I learned from them that they were, because of the job of the man, they were living many years in different countries for years, you know, like America and so on. And they had 3 apartments. I had no idea which one I'm getting. So I went into the apartment, I opened it, and it was Egypt. Like there was papyrus from Egypt, there was like the shisha, there was like a camels painted on the walls and all. And so they really brought things from Egypt because they were living there for years. And I spent 3 days there, and I felt so like, ah, like, okay, this reminded again, okay, remembering like you had such a passion for Egypt and like spending these 3 days, and yet my brain, of course, our brain see it, but yet go still to the direction that we are planning. And then I put it again aside. And then last year I went of kind of the dark night of the souls, like some people say, you know, everything like fall apart, like the tower moment. And I spent a lot of time in Bulgaria with my family, and I have been coincidentally directed to places like similar like Anya, where I wasn't aware that are very strong energetic places, where there is a huge from the mythology or from the history, are places where a huge beliefs or a huge things are happen, or it's believed that a huge energy is there. And I've been like coincidentally through a book, through a person, whatever, guided to go there on a very particular days even. And that is how and before I went there, I actually joined the Timeline Healing one with Manuela. Coincidentally, just 2 days before the actual training, I saw a video of Sal in one training, and I said, okay, I need to connect with this man. No idea how. And I went on his website and I saw in Germany it's happening in 2 days or 3 days, something like that, like training with him. And I connected with Jen, connected with Manuela and so on, and actually wasn't possible kind of from financial point of view, because like I said, everything was like for me like on the ground zero. But that is where you see these coincidences, where you get supported when you follow the soul purpose. When it's not the ego, like I want to go there, but it's when it's the soul purpose, you get the support. And then I went to Bulgaria the 3 months. And when I came back, I started, I understood something that we were just talking about, coincidence and manifestation, because I was trying the whole time to manifest out of my mind. That is what I wanted. This is what I wanted to go. But what I didn't realize back there is, and you are following people that are telling you, do this. And sometimes I follow my gut, but sometimes I try to follow some people that have more experience and to do what they tell you to do. And I realized that the things how I was manifesting was from my mind. So what I was like trying to attract, but it wasn't from my true self. So I needed to take a step back. And what I been guided kind of at the end of the last year to create a program, Architect Your Evolved Selves, where it was just about tapping into your true essence, learning who you truly are, then defining what is success for you, and then manifest what you wanted. And that is where I started getting a lot of symbols from Egypt again. Like here, a YouTube video about Egypt, here something else about goddess from Egypt and so on. And I started just putting this information, just aside. And also with one of the sessions with Sal, I felt connected to Cleopatra. And also to the part of the perfumes, because I have a very sensitive sense for the smell. So all these coincidences, I just put it into my mind, like check, you see it, but you put it like, okay, it's like there. And I trusted somehow. I know I'm gonna go to Egypt, but I always think, okay, I can go when I finally start my business again, start earning the money, so I have the financial stability, so I can go there. And when we were in this session with your support group, learning how to get better into the practitioner of the timeline healing, and Jen shared it, I remember I pulled a card. I had like this card, yes, no, maybe, whatever, like angel's card. I pulled one, and it says, not the right timing. And inside, I felt in my gut this disappointment. And back there, I forgot this one rule, how to say, is you can pull something, but when you can ask for an answer, and when you get the answer and you feel in your gut that you don't align with this answer, actually the feeling of your gut is the true one. But back there I was like, okay, universe, you're showing me another path, so I'm just leaving it aside. But it didn't come out of my mind. I was like, I started looking for, okay, when I'm in Egypt, what I'm gonna wear, because I love to see myself how I look. So I started just, okay, when I go there, what I'm gonna wear and so on. So I just say, okay, I'm going to connect and ask you, what is the plan? What is the price? When we are going? What is it? And then see what's going to happen. And when you share all with me, I was like, okay, how can I make it happen? And the first thing I actually started doing is packing my stuff. I started pulling clothes and putting it aside in
Yeah.
my wardrobe.
Oh
This
my
I'm gonna
God.
take for Egypt. This is the dress. This is this, and this is what I need, because I
Yeah.
was looking for the time. So I started. I at that time I didn't had a luggage. Because my luggage has been broken by my last trip
Yeah.
to South Africa. So suddenly I find some kind of contracts for that. I say, oh, I don't need these contracts. Let me check what kind of money is there and can I get it? And I call them and they say, oh yeah, he's possible. Oh yeah, he's possible. And okay, I'm getting it. So I tell you yes, but then what happens is, then suddenly I ask him, okay, when you're going to pay it out? And they say, oh, in March. And universe, you're giving me these opportunities, and then in the next moment you're saying me, oh no, but you're getting in after the trip.
Yeah.
And that is where, like this, our ego try to self-sabotage ourselves, to you want to go it, but there is this part of the ego, of the scarcity, to jump.
Mm.
and and I was like, okay, how should I do it? So again, but I still keep on packing my stuff. And like, you won't believe, but 3 days before the trip, somehow I booked the flight and I say, I don't know how I'm going to have the money for this, but I'm booking the flight. And if the flight is gone, is gone. Yeah. And my ex-partner is coming on the corner and giving me a present, 2 new luggages, a big one and a small one.
Mhm.
Say, okay, I was thinking, when you want to travel, maybe, you're going to need it now. And actually, I ordered it before I knew that you're planning maybe to go to Egypt. So suddenly, everything was there.
Mhm.
And this is the moments where I personally need to start differentiating between what is true me, what is like my soul excitement, and what is my self-sabotage patterns. The patterns uh, where I, out of some limiting beliefs, of some scarcity, been self-sabotaging myself. And I can tell you, maybe you listen till here, and maybe you have some desires in your life. Maybe you have things that you want to experience. You feel this urge, this beauty coming from like Yolanda said at the beginning. When you were a child, you had some inspiration, you had some ideas, but when we grow up, we get so much layers over us that we need first to uncover. And these layers, they're popping up because every time when you need to go out of your comfort zone, they just turn on and it's getting like red light, red light. Oh no, that's scarcity. And that is what happened. And what I needed to learn is, okay, to differentiate between that is what excites my soul, and that is a self-sabotage pattern. So it's not like universe is closing the
Yeah,
door,
yeah.
because sometimes, there is times where it's like this divine timing, but it feels like
Mhm. But
really,
but I truly see it from my example and examples from others. The scariest thing in the world is to become yourself, your true self.
yes, because you're then so powerful. And I think I wasn't scared. I realized I'm not scared of failure, but
Mhm.
scared of success and really shining this light, this
Oh,
power.
yeah.
Because I've been set You're too much. You're too loud. You're too much. You're too excited. You're too. And then I'm like, okay, I don't want to overshadow someone. I don't want to take from someone else their lights. So I start dimming my light and dimming my light and dimming my light and, you know, being like less and less and less. And what I think happens is when you start regaining this power and realizing that, look at the sun. That was my last day realization in Egypt. I was looking at this beautiful sun. I was like staying in the water like that. And I was like, oh. And I was like, is there a moment where I feel like overshined from the shine or from the sun, or like put it in the shadow? Not at all. Not at all. The sun is just shining in its fullest power. And I was like there and like enjoying it and feeling more powerful than ever. So actually, it's just a limiting beliefs we were being put on us, because when we tap in our power, we are so powerful that nobody can control us.
Yes.
And part of the society doesn't want people that are not controllable, because when you realize your power, then you start questioning everything. You start questioning, do we need this hatred? Do we need this fight? Can we be just like brothers and sisters and sisters? Can I just be open-hearted and vulnerable, and yet to know that I'm safe, even in my vulnerability? Because actually sharing with all these people now a part of my story, you know, like bringing myself to the absolute zero ground, is something that I was ashamed, because I was, okay, you know, I cannot handle money maybe or whatever. But I was putting all my energy and financials to create a life of freedom, to create a life, to get to know myself, to finally really start living my essence. So that's why this journey, Yolanta, and as I cannot share my how big is my appreciation. This journey was like a huge milestone for me to tap into. From the moment I get in the plane, I felt like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with dimming my light. I'm like, I'm done. It's like not doing it anymore for any person on life, because that is what my soul wants to experience.
Yes.
And I used to think I'm a body. I used to think I'm my thoughts, I'm my body, and it's still a part of us, but we are more than this. And tapping into this, like I also did 8 weeks of mediumship, and where I started, you know, connecting with even higher consciousness. And I'm in the learning, you know, because your mind says, oh no, that doesn't exist, you know, and so on.
Yeah.
And that's why maybe you want to share the story with the picture on the boat. Because when we started our journey, we went first day after we landed on water, and you sent a picture to Jan from the boat, right?
I don't remember.
Because you said that you sent a picture
Yeah.
from us to Jen, and she said that she saw
Yeah.
a white dragon flying with us.
Yeah. There are a lot of things. This journey, this time, it was full, because usually also I am used to those type of events. Then we are like coming, introducing ourselves, connecting, growing something, yes, and then at the end something happens. Here was nothing. All of us came prepared, and all of the magic started from the like you said, from the moment you stepped into your plane. Anya came 2 days before the trip to Latvia, actually. We met in Riga, and also we came to Sigulda, to my hometown, and we spent 2 days in Latvia connecting already. And from the first day, it started also here. And so during this trip, every day was full of insights, magic, connection. Like we were living those experiences. It was not like we didn't like plan to, okay, let's do this, go there, then we will sit in meditation, and then we will start to feel something. Like this feeling and exchanging also energies and insights, it was like whole week, like all day, 24/7. Yes. This is like
24/7.
yeah. Yes, and yes, when I shared with Jen, she shared like from her perspective that she's seeing, sensing a white dragon with us, and also like the energy of water priestess. Yes, this was the
Mm.
other. And I connect deeply with water beings, and I feel also like this part of myself, like even what I shared before this trip. I was standing in the shower in the morning, and suddenly I hear, feel, and sense this urge to buy a new ticket to Egypt, to plan already the next trip to visit Sphinx and pyramids, because I received the message from them. Hey, what are you doing? You are coming to Egypt and not visiting us.
Oh,
And
they
also
felt
this
like
my blah 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 mind part started. No, 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 no. Put this idea aside. You should do like this, like from the calendar perspective. Let's go to this trip and then think about this other. But the energy was so big and so insisted. Yeah, it insisted. I just decided, okay. And I checked with my husband, with my home calendar, with Mo, with his calendar, and I see this gap, and I'm checking for flight tickets there. And okay, and I bought tickets, and and this
so
is
the
like
next
also
next trip
again
is already set.
some type of magic again. And so yes, so this from the beginning, when I read about this like white dragon, I didn't pay that much attention to that, because of my passion to water and water beings. But when you said something, yes, it was like I heard from you something about dragons, or and I just like, oh, of course. It's not like someone is seeing or sensing something just about me. It's not about myself only there, because we are a
It's the
group of
whole
six
energy.
people. It's the whole group's energy. Of course, she picked something like that is connected with you, and it's about you. And I knew instantly that at that moment that was like the direct and private message to you. And
It
this is
was
like,
it was for me this confirmation, because when you connect with this frequency and energy, and I yet don't have the possibility to see. I feel more through my body. So I can feel when something happens, I feel
yeah,
pressure always. My body is like my best map if something is. But I knew that I connected with my white dragon at the end of last year. And when we were stuck in this traffic jam and we had this another bus that was so broken, so it was like you can imagine people we are saying in this traffic jam, and he to start is like this, and when you're in a traffic jam he
my
doesn't have
head
the
bouncing
possibility.
over the roof.
And I was like, okay, they cannot send another car before, because we're in the middle of the traffic jam. The boat won't wait of us because it's like a boat with a lot of people. And I was like, okay, I just called in to the white dragon. I said, please, if we should be there, just open the traffic jam and make it happen that this car brings us like really safe on the boat. And when the traffic jam just started like opening and the car started rolling, and I was like, but what I also did it after the request, I just went in peace and I say, okay, if we're not going to the boat trip, I'm fine. We're just gonna go out of the jam and we're gonna miss the boat trip. We do something else. And remember when we went to the boat, our boat was gone. So we
Yeah.
were actually treated like a VIP guest because we get to another boat that brought us to our middle in the sea, and with like our
Good.
boat needed to wait of us, so we were picked with a small boat and brought there, and we came and everybody was watching like, okay, who are these people coming like extra here? So and that is where magic happens. And when when you told me this message, like this was a few days later, I'm Luxor writing, and I
Yes.
was like, that was for me the confirmation of, okay, it's not just in my, because sometimes when you don't see it yet, we are so conditioned, it's like, okay, it's just in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was this confirmation. But what you exactly what you shared, the whole group, everybody was so unique. And you can imagine, when you, maybe for the people watching here, what I learned, I used to be very judgmental because I used to judge myself. So when I go in a group, I was very distant at the beginning. It's like part also in my human design, I see it is this aloofness, where I've been like just distant. And I get triggered by some people, always. Doesn't matter where I go, there is like the people that you connect immediately, and then there is the people that triggers you. But what I learned in the last 2 years is the people that triggers me most are the people that I get the strongest connection. And also I learned something very important is you get together always with the right people. You
Mhm.
get together always with the right people. So the 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 people you put together, Yolanda, was just the perfect balance between three men holding the masculine energy and three women going strong in our feminine energy. And this is something you cannot plan it, but it happens in the right way, because I know that the next trip now in 26th of March, right, coming in less than 1 month, I know that for the next trip, I don't know how I'll be there, but I know I need to be there. So I just feel this. So I don't know how it will shows. And I know that the people that will join will be the right one,
Mhm.
ready
Yes.
to accelerate and to tap into their true essence, and will be the right one also holding the space for the other. So it will be this balance again of, and everybody evolves, but you evolve, you have a strength in one area, and you have kind of not weakness, but development potential in
Yes.
another.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like a magic of synchronicity, because after Hurghada, the sea, we went through the mountains, very beautiful, and to come to Luxor, this Nile was for me like, I always wanted to visit Nile, always, like next to the pyramids was like this river
Yeah.
was for me like, okay, I need to go to this river, I need like really to connect to this river. And I had, actually, if I need to be honest, I had almost no idea about the god and the goddess of Egypt,
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
can't remember what I was reading when I was a teenager, like a young child. So for me, was beside of like Cleopatra and Tutankhamun, and it's like, or Ra, everything else was like more of kind of, okay, I have no idea what is the energy of this archetype, to say this way. What are they? What are their interaction? And like you share Mo as our guide, I can tell you that this is a person who embodied the Egyptian history in the right way. It's like not putting it into the I listened to another guides when we were traveling in the temples, you also, just to
Yes.
hear how they talk and how what our guides do. And what I can tell you people, what our guides do is he's a magician. He know where to be, at what time
Yes.
to be, what exactly to be done or not to be done, and in which moment and which corner, because we experienced one of the most visited places where we were just
Yes.
imagine normally it's like that, and we
Yes.
were
Yeah.
in places, Yolanda, you can share.
And oh, it was like I have chills right now because like, and also like looking at him and seeing his excitement and like a like wow, what happened? Because usually the place is crowded. Sometimes people cannot even go inside because of the amount of tourists and number of people there. And we managed to be alone there. And not only just we six there, but later, when we decided three ladies to go alone, also we managed somehow that we had a minute or two, just three of us in that sacred
That
place.
was
Like,
in Dandara, right, in Hathor's temple, where we stayed just with three. Yeah. And I went in the room next to it where it was all the goddess, and I was completely alone.
yeah,
It was like uh,
yeah.
I know that he shared that normally, and you share also, normally when you go in, you cannot even take a picture. And we were able to stay for minutes there, like not just for some seconds, but like for minutes, and to really
Mm-hmm.
connect and really
Yes.
feel this energy. Because I don't know, maybe you watching currently this conversation, maybe you're depending on what level of conscious development you maybe understand it or not, but it's not just a woo-woo spiritual things. It's like when you look into the science, like the quantum physics, just go into the quantum physics. We know all of us that 99.9999999% is energy. So that means an energy never disappears. Energy just change forms. So this energy of all this God and goddess, all this history is anchored in these places, is anchored into these stones, is like stored there and waiting for us to open to receive it. And you feel it, when, like you said, how often we went in a room, in a place, and it was like feeling this like this energy going through your body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when we start realizing that that's our true self, and you can experience the best exactly when you visit these places. And Yolanda is now giving the possibility to go again to a next trip where you can really experience on your own body, on your own path. Because let me be honest, you won't be watching this video till here, our conversation, if you're not really like interested in like, okay, I don't know what these two ladies are talking about or what they are like, experiencing, but I want more of this, because that was also with me. And when you're watching so far, there is a part of you really willing to connect, really willing to go and experience this connection, because it's nothing we can put in words.
Yeah.
I think our language is way too limited to put the
like
experiences.
like yes, like we can say remember who you truly are, but like there's a huge difference saying that and starting to experience that. Ah, this is like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I knew, yeah, and I knew already last year. I was looking at this connection, how we started to evolve, how this friendship was born with me and Mo, and I knew that it was divinely planned, that it was like destiny for us to meet like this. And so many people played their roles just for us to meet. And also like okay, let's try organize something. Like how how will it be? I don't know. Let's try to organize it. And all the signs and people who we attracted and how everything went, and even the rain and the last
Oh,
day at the end of
yes.
the trip. And all we received so many signs that we are supported, that all of this is
Maybe
planned
before you
from the
go
divine.
further from the rain, explain it, because I wasn't aware how important the rain there is. So
Yeah.
first, when you
So in
explain
Luxor,
it,
yes, yes, actually in all Egypt, rain is very rare occasion. Like it is like sometimes it can also be like 5 years or several years without any of rain. And for me and for Mo, as we received um, like first like 5 drops of rain after we finished the sacred tour in Dendera temple, right? And we went to bus, and already we felt like 3 or 5 drops. And for me, it was like, oh wow, what do you think? I feel it as a blessing because we did it. um, I was also facing like my fears, insecurities, like maybe I am just like in my mind, and maybe it's not for me to plan and organize tours like this. And we are receiving those drops of blessings, and I say yes, okay, let's do the next trip and and the next, right? As long as we will receive this inspiration and the calling. And in the evening, when we started doing closing circle with meditation and body work elements, I hear like the real rain is happening. Not only some drops, but real rain. Like it
and
was
this in
it was
divine time,
huge.
in
It
divine
was
time.
huge. Yes. Yes.
Because imagine we had people coming and singing and dancing for us if it started raining. So it was like everything perfectly aligned with the time. And I what you say is, I remember you told me how amazing our guide is and so on. But like you share, you can say it, but first when you experience it, you can know what it is. So that means we can talk so much about Egypt, about the trip, about the magic, about the knowing and experiencing. Suddenly how um, the one had this knowing, okay, we need to do this one, the other had this knowing, okay, you need to be here, no, you need to be there. So everybody had their role kind of guided, but we can share it, but nobody can give you the experience. It just works. So you need to go and participate by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, who knows what will the experience be for you? Because now I have experience with the group we did last year, and how unique the journey was for every person there, and how unique were those experiences. And also this year with this group, it was unique journey, unique insights for each person. Like we were doing together all of that, but still we had our own story to reveal, like our own story and parts of ourselves we could, and also a choice. Actually, you can dig deep or
Or you can just
decide
let it like
not to.
that.
But together it creates this beautiful field of alchemy and trust, love, compassion, remembrance, and allowing just the divine to touch your heart, and
And
to drink and breathe this beautiful energy of this ancient sacred land. And for me, it's like it gives so much of inspiration, and I'm just looking forward to doing again the next trip. And when we started to like actually we were sitting and putting together plan for the next trip, what happened? Another miracle, because already next tour was born after. I think
Really?
maybe it will be January next year. Maybe timing will change. But we were like really. And again, this that tour has not started, and the next is born already. So I am saying yes right now to Egypt, and I am willing to take with me as many people as possible, because I'm truly feeling this calling to be in service for people, uh, to awaken to their inner true self, to touch their hearts, and to help them to remember their roots, their true essence, true soul energy, and to start to create their lives with passion, love, compassion, and to live the best version you can.
What was your biggest, how to say, takeaway, or the biggest like aha moment you experienced in this trip, during this trip?
This week, this week,
The whole week?
the whole week, the whole week. There was some magic in in one of the temples. I started to actually consciously remember that we were there in those temples like several thousands years ago, and those were those moments when I knew what I need to say, what I need to do, because it's also like it's written in our soul patterns energy somewhere, and this is like, yeah, that was that was for me, this understanding and this like allowing myself uh, to really open for this experience, and to um, allow this blah 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 part to like shut down. I would love to say forever.
Oh, magical.
Yeah.
For me was it was a lot of aha moments. I think the most, I won't say painful. So actually, when you take it from the human perspective, it feels painful. Was in the small Isis temple, where I felt so connected with a god Horus, where I was like so much having this urge to cry and like let all this out. And the whole birds that was accompanying us from his temple to the Isis temple was like huge amounts of birds coming, and then the next amount of birds, and then the next amount of birds. Um, but the biggest realization for me was the last few months. I was talking a lot about um, balancing feminine and masculine energy, as I used to be a very strong masculine energy always my whole life, like this God uh, get do everything, but from like this push it and do it hard. And the last 2 years I went more on the feminine side, but then I've lost this also powerful energy because I
Yeah.
just went to the other side. And really starting from November, December, I think last year, I started talking, no, it's about the divine dance between the masculine, the feminine energy within us and with all of us. And I felt that my biggest like part that I brought was to, like I told you before we started the life, was to let go of the shame and the guilt regarding the whole sexuality part. So like really anchoring this pure sexual energy, what has nothing to do with us, with the
Yeah.
sex and so on, but it's about this pure manifestation energy. Even in the books like from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, he's talking about how you can use the sexual energy for manifesting. But especially we women, we have been, on us has been put a lot of shame and a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
The whore, like working as a prostitute and so on and so on, like really, like we learned to like put our sexual energy very low, and the last few years to go a lot into this masculine, I can be better man, and that is what I felt for myself, that from this trip I really get a lot.
Mhm.
And actually this life doing it now, it's, Yolanta, is the first time I'm talking openly about all that journey that I'm doing, the journey with connecting with higher consciousness, with mediumship. And so I speak in private, but I never share with the people that the strong woman working in corporates for many, many years, or doing after that her business, is actually on this part of spirituality, of this part of our true self. It's like, for me, absolutely vulnerable, opening this space and talking like that.
Mhm.
And thank you for being like the one sharing this space with me and allowing me to share this. And if I can, with everyone who is watching this, if I can really make an invitation to you, really, if you feel, doesn't matter how much your ego is talking blah chatting or whatever, if you feel that you want to experience it, I didn't know what I'm expecting to take from this journey. I just knew I need to be there. I have no idea why, but I had this inner knowing. So if you are like me and you feel it like that, I can really recommend you from like my heart, connect with Yolanta. You can find her on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever. Just ask for the trip. Just ask, just get the information, get the information, nothing more. Just get the information and looks how it feels. For me, it was like, okay, I'm just asking for the information.
Yes.
And then I felt like, okay, I need to start packing. I don't know how, but I need to put that was my way of manifesting it. I need to start putting my clothes. I even know what kind of dress I need to wear for the pyramids. Again,
Yes, I
I
wanted to
know,
ask. I wanted to
I know,
ask.
I know. I saw it in the
Yeah.
Dendera temple, because for you watching here, I was guided in the Dendera temple to wear a golden dress. I had no idea why, and this dress I actually bought some weeks ago without
Yeah.
knowing what it'd be. And I knew the color, and I know even where we need to stay and at what time. I get also this message I need to share with you, but this is on private because we don't want to spoil for the new trip. But I already found the dress. So it's like, for me, it's like the feeling of the body. I need to feel it. And the dress
Yeah.
gives me this body feeling. That is what you share with me also from the human design. It's like feeling the body.
Yes. Amazing, amazing.
Do you have some last words that you want maybe to
This is
say?
also like what I'm experiencing right now. I see those changes in people, and that gives me inspiration to continue this work and
Between Tom and Jerry?
doing whatever I am doing, like teaching timeline healing, doing sessions, doing readings, taking people like with me to tours, and also like last year, this year, those people who started this trip together, and what a transformation and what the changes like during the week, and how we remember like even our guides, they didn't want to say goodbye. Like, and they suddenly got so sad, right? Because we are leaving. And so
And
yeah.
normally they're happy when the group is gone. They're happy to
Yes,
have their
finally.
time.
Yes, finally they are free. They have their free time for themselves, and suddenly they were, oh, like
And maybe to share with you, this time the guide stays with us. So Mo was the whole time with us. And that
yeah,
was also an additional
yeah,
magical experience.
yeah,
That's something that you learn from the first trip. It's the best. And he
yeah,
became one of us. It's
yeah.
like a friend.
Yeah, this is like also Anya shared yesterday. Yes, he's not a guide. He's like
He was one of very important. So we
he's
were
a
three,
he's a
we
friend.
six.
He's the part of the group. He is a big inspirational soul and amazing speaker, right? And um, this big heart who cares about people, actually, and
Yeah.
is willing to do all the best things to make the whole group happy. And
And
also,
that
can
is
we
so
say
important.
about the dinner?
Yeah, that is what I was just thinking to say, because we were talking a lot about energy and tempos, but
Yeah.
guys, just to know, we had so much other experiences. We went on a balloon trip, like over Luxor.
Oh my God.
We forgot it actually that we're gonna go. And then say about the mom. Please say about the dinner.
Ah, like for me also, I feel as a like precious gift someone can give to you is inviting the whole group to your home and asking your mom to cook a dinner for your tourists. Wow. Wow, what a guide, right?
and the reaction, so I can tell you the food was so amazing, like you felt like being at home. It wasn't you're a tourist, but it was like we are a part of the culture and the people. And the one of our men, to say it, from the group, he say like and you can see the sparkle in his mom's eyes about this appreciation. And we got even two times invited. And remember when we spontaneously went in to visit his sister, like in the middle of the night, guys, at like 12 a.m. at the night. We were just driving by his sister and she called us upstairs, so we sit there, and you can imagine these people living in, they live all together. It's not like, okay, the children have their own room and the parents have their own room. That's not the condition there. They live together and they offer you all they have on the table.
Yes.
It's like this: we have guests, so everything that I have, everything that is mine, I'm sharing with you. And this hospitality, this open heart, and even the children who some were talking English, some not so, but we somehow managed to communicate, and that was so like the best part, to really connect with the people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yes. Actually, to share everything about this trip would mean to spend another 1 week just remembering and sharing and exchanging our experiences because it was a lot to experience, a lot to receive, and also I believe that we gave to each other
Oh
also.
yes, yes. Not
Amazing.
only to each other, but also to the people. I really had many times this feeling when we connect with people in the temples, the gratitude they had in their eyes for we appreciating from our heart their culture, their history. Because we wasn't the typical tourist going just to make some picture and go away, but we truly appreciated all their dignity, all their beauty, all their power, the whole, like every person. even yesterday when our driver brought me to the airport, we went
Yeah.
first in his
Yeah.
favorite coffee shop, talking about the culture of Egypt, about the women in Egypt, the men in Egypt, and so on. Are like friends.
Mhm.
And this is magic because they saw we are not the tourists coming there just to make a picture for Instagram and Facebook and to say we were in Egypt, but we were there to appreciate from the deepest part in our heart all that they have given to us, to the whole world.
Mhm. I think I can share this also with you, with all of you watching here, because it was like the first or the second evening we were talking with Mo about the plans for the next day, organizing things like how every evening, right? And he said to me, "Thank you for bringing this group because I can see that those people are interested in Egypt, in history of Egypt. Those are not some regular tourists, and thank you for bringing people like this."
Oh, I have
And so
goosebumps.
this is also my intention to connect, to invite all of those who feel the calling to Egypt, who feel connected to the history of Egypt, the invisible realm, those dimensions that start to open when you go there. Just be simple, be truthful, be yourself, and it will be opening for you.
Magic. Magic. I will say I went there without knowing why, and I came back not only with beautiful friends, but also with another country that on a some point can call like my country. So it's like it's so looking forward for the people who'll join us. I say yeah us even if I don't have the plane in it. I say but join us. But I know that it feels right. It feels it feels um, and we were in lower Egypt, upper Egypt, so this time we'll be going from lower to upper, so we will, right?
Yes, yeah, this time we are starting with Cairo, and we will be starting and with the pyramids and Sphinx, and we will be spending the whole day there. Because I also know from experience and from what other tourists have experienced that usually they are coming from Hurghada or other places, and they have only 1 or 2 hours at the pyramids, and they are running to experience everything. But no, we will just have our time there to connect, to experience everything. And we are planning also to visit other places in Cairo, and Alexandria is one of my dreams to visit. Yes, yes, yes.
It's like
So
I said Alexandria and the Hanging
yes.
Garden of Semiramida. Oh, that
Yeah,
will be.
and what else? We will be spending also time in Luxor and visiting
Mm.
Valley of the Kings and many temples with and hearing again those stories, love stories about how they met and what was that temple for and
The love stories are the best, really. They're
yes.
like heart
And
opening.
then we will take a trip to Aswan, and we will be spending time in that beautiful, colorful village
Hotel.
of Aswan and Philia Temple, and
Here may be also a very
many
interesting
surprises.
part. In Aswan, we went to a dance evening. So we actually danced with a local. Like
Yes.
it was wow, so magical.
Mhm.
Luxor, Aswan, Cairo,
Yes, Alexandria.
Alexandria,
Alexandria.
Alexandria.
Excellent. Beautiful.
And I suppose we're gonna have also our good driver next to our good. We had the best driver ever. Really, he knows where are the whole police guys staying, so we don't. He knows how to drive and not. Good music. So taking care of good
Yes.
music.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And also, I will add this note also because I didn't know consciously before, but already like checked that that week is available. I am going, so the dates, yes, I am going from 26th of March until 5th of 4th or 5th or
Fifth
of April.
in the
There,
morning.
yes. And of course you can join maybe a day later or I have one woman from Russia interested and she would love to go home like 2 days earlier. Of course, it's possible also to plan like
Oh, that's
for
good.
yourself this trip, like
Hmm.
how it's more convenient for you. And the time we will be visiting Egypt is Ramadan. It's happening.
Oh, I was in
So
Dubai the last years during
yes,
Ramadan.
yes. So also, like, I feel that for myself, this time there will support also my journey with my intention to to allow this experience to happen to me. And as it starts already on the 10th of March, I have already set an intention to start also to adjust my habits and my way of living, eating, drinking, everything as I am doing here in Latvia. I will add something to my daily routine starting from the 10th of March. But there in Egypt, when we will come together there, I feel
That's the
always
new
that
moon, right? It's the new
something that
moon.
is
Yeah.
happening in collective also can give you a lot of benefits if you go together
Definitely.
with the collective, yes. And my intention is to try the hardcore at least for one day as they are doing, going without food and without water the whole day. Yes, the whole day until the sunset. But
Okay.
I am also like being gentle and with this full awareness of myself, my health, my body, and what will happen in the worst case. I will say, no, I cannot do this and give me food.
Or water.
Nothing
I
else.
think so.
But
I use, yeah, that's. I just, when you say Ramadan, I felt immediately, okay, I want to fast because I was doing 86. My longest one is 86
yeah,
hours without
yeah.
eating, but drinking. But I
Hmm.
forgot that in Ramadan you don't drink even, so that you're from the
Yes,
sunrise to the sunset, no water.
yes.
The good one in Egypt is the sun setting is early, so it's not so
Yeah,
late, So it's like 6:30, maybe 7, depending
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
summer.
It's something about 6, yes.
So it's
So,
early.
I have never done that in my life, but since it accidentally happened that I will be there in Egypt during this time, I have decided that I need to try it. And
I'm gonna
of
share you some
course,
knowledge about that because I did it, so I can give you this. We
yeah,
can prepare the group if they want it. And
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what's
yeah.
also
So,
magical? It's full moon when we are flying. It's the one day after. It's like,
So please come and join us, and of course, we are not putting pressure on this because every person can do as it is best for them. This is not a request for everyone, yes. But if you
the
feel it
right
in your
people will
heart
come
and soul,
together.
then yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's always the right people will come together. It's an invitation. It's heart-driven invitation.
yes, yes,
If you are attempting to get to know yourself better, because I can tell you, for me, this week was also ups and downs. It wasn't like all unicorns and roses. I had also my moments, and I've been triggered in some moments, and some other people have been triggered, and we had some conversations around and some happening and opening, and but the beauty when you go through this transformation and you're open, and
Yes.
that's very important to be just open.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you so much. We're
No, I like
saying.
even the transformation during this conversation. Now you start to shine your goddess vibes.
Thank you. It's for me, it wasn't easy to open this room now, as I never spoke about that, like, in the world. All
This
the
is
people
what we
that
are
knows me
talking about.
know it.
Just shining your light. Yes, we like to talk mentally about like soul history, your true light, shine your light, your true soul essence. But what does it mean to actually allow it to happen, right?
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, and there was one sentence also that you told me that stick in my mind. It was about you telling me that somehow I need to do something environmental, and I was like, not my topic at all, like, and then I still kept on this thought the last days when I was alone in Egypt, and I came back and I had a dream. The only thing I remember for the dream was I went out of a house and there was a leopard in front of me, like maybe 3-4 meter. I cannot remember what exactly. One day later, I listened to a reading from a lady very intuitively, and she said, "Yeah, here something with environment, with animals, with planet, with Gaia." And I felt so connected to Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, when the last 2 days on this beautiful spot in Hurghada again. So I start opening just to play with this. And one of the idea that came was also with the oils, with the beauty that the nature give us, these beautiful oils. I'm like every day putting the oils that we took, and we handled it very good. We were very good on and I feel like, okay, that could be also, because environmental work doesn't mean like just go and fight for but use that what Mother Earth gives us for our health, for our expansion.
Mhm.
As we know, sense is something that truly connect with so it's like just this one sentence from the trip that you gave it to me start opening and another perspectives and connecting with some other thoughts I had. And this is the magic.
Mhm.
So I'll say we have spoken a lot from our heart, and thank you to everybody who watched. And I'm really, really excited about the trip, and it will be magic. It is magic. It's not will. It's now magic. I even
Mhm.
have one idea that I share with you, Yolanda, but not for you guys watching. You're gonna listen it later. Have a
Yes.
wonderful day, night, afternoon, doesn't matter where you are. I'm just